Okay. We
I, I,
might
I think so.
we might be live.
Are we live? I think we're live.
Yeah.
So apologies. I was in New York last week. Have you ever been to New York before?
I have.
You have?
A
While I was
couple
there, I went to this meetup for a company called Daytona. Have you heard of Daytona before?
Daytona? No.
Daytona. I had not either. I'd seen the logo, I think, at NVIDIA GTC, and there was an AI engineering meetup in the Datadog cafeteria on 45th, which is great. So
Uh-huh.
I decided to join. And lo and behold, they're working on something that's near and dear to me. So containerizing agentic workflows
Hmm.
in the cloud, which I thought was actually pretty cool. There were a couple
Cool.
other speakers as well. Somebody from Datadog talking about parallel LLMs, which I thought were interesting.
Hmm.
Sorry, recursive LLMs. My apologies, which I thought was
Recursive.
interesting. So
Okay.
not Ralph, but something a little bit more
Okay. Yeah.
sophisticated than Ralph.
Yeah.
And then the other one was, I think it was Tivoli. It was like a search API
Tivoli still
for,
exists?
is that right? Tivoli. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'd never heard of them.
Tivoli?
Um, Tivoli. Yes. Not
Not
Tivoli. Right. Not,
not
not, not IBM
not the
Tivoli. Sorry.
IBM. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought you meant.
which,
Like, what?
which definitely does still exist, but
Does
it's
it
not this.
really?
Yes. Tivoli. Tivoli, I feel like, is now part of Domino, or Domino is part of Tivoli, but
Domino
yeah.
still exists as a product?
I think it does. I'm so
What?
sorry.
Like
Yeah, yeah, it looks like it does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
oh my God.
Um, and now
Who?
listen, I don't
Why would
know. I
anybody
don't
still
know,
do that?
right? um, listen, don't tell anybody else who's listening to the podcast. But my brother actually still works for IBM on a different product. But Tivoli is still a monitoring product. Is how I know about it. But you can
Okay.
still get IBM Tivoli monitoring,
Wow.
ITM or whatever. Yeah, it's still around. And yes, I do believe Domino is still also around. Just do a quick search for that as well.
Because
But
that's
that came up.
Lotus Notes, right?
It's
I mean,
like
it was something on top of Notes.
yeah. I want to say, was it the mail server? Does that sound about
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, I think Lotus Notes is gone, or Notes, I think is
Okay.
gone. But yes, I think Domino
Wow.
is still around. And funnily enough, yes, so it came up as a QRadar integration, which is a SIEM or SIM product from IBM,
Okay.
of, of all things. Yes, we're deep in the IBM weeds
Wow.
today.
Wow.
So anyway, went to some meetups, talked to some people, had some New York. Can I put quotes on pizza? Is that okay? Will I offend some people? I had some New York quote unquote pizza. Uh,
What are you saying? I mean, that's like,
New York pizza is not for me, I think is what I'm saying.
well, it depends on where you go.
In Midtown, oh, I'm going to preface this a little bit. In Midtown, if you want to get cheap pizza,
Oh,
like
cheap.
Midtown
Yeah.
Manhattan,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
there's a ton of
There's,
cheap pizza.
yeah.
Is it good cheap pizza? No, it's
No.
like good, fast, and cheap. You get
No.
it
Yeah.
fast, you'll get it cheap. Is it good? I'm like 100% not. And I
Yeah.
don't know why people defend it. Like Two Brothers, maybe there's another one in some other area of the city, but
Yeah.
that Two Brothers I've been to a few times now and is
Yeah.
like not good.
It's,
The only one that I like so far is Carnegie Pizza, but they
mm,
don't cook their pizza, so you have to tell them, can you cook this? It's like really
right.
busy, so you have to, like, yeah, shove it in the oven again so
Right.
it comes out and it's
Yeah.
actually cooked, please. Like, this is my hot take of the day, is that so far I've had two New York pizza slices that were like acceptable, not
Mhm.
even good, like acceptable.
So
And
I
yep,
used to live in New York, and I used to live
right,
in a building that had a pizza place in the
okay,
first floor. And that, I mean, it's been a long time since I left. I mean, I left there. I moved out of New York in 92. So things
hmm,
have changed, I'm sure. New York moves fast, and so at some point over the last 30 plus years, things have probably changed. But at the time, and I think that
maybe
pizza
not.
place is still there. It's
Yep.
called Two Boots Pizza, and that was great.
Oh, okay. There you
So
go. So not Two Brothers, Two Boots. The
Two
the one
Boots.
I wanted to check out but didn't have time is Charlie's Pizza, which is
Mm.
charcoal fired. I think it's in
Hmm.
Brooklyn. It's a
Okay.
coal oven pizza. But what I thought was really interesting is the pizza goes under the street. So the coal oven is like really wide and long, and they have
Mm-hmm.
these really long specialized tools to get the pizzas in there. But as far as like, definitely the sidewalk, but I think it actually goes as far as the street. So that the store it has a sidewalk in front of it. The pizza oven is in the basement, but
Hmm.
people are in the basement. The oven is like dug into the street. It goes
Wow.
under the
Wow.
sidewalk. So what I thought was, it's just my brain of brains here. In the middle of winter, in a snowstorm, I assume the sidewalk snow is melted and that it might be warm outside if I have a
Right.
slice of pizza
Right.
at this place. Anyway, also this the person who runs this place. If ever you get to watch a YouTube video of pizza making, I feel like you got to watch this one, because by the end of the video, the owner, the proprietor, was I think he was 8 whiskey sours in, and wearing these orange sunglasses and talking like a mafioso, I guess, like a light kind of. It's like, hey, over here, we do all the bits. Sorry, I can't do the accent right, but I thought it was delightful. It was very,
That's
very
great.
cool. Thought I should go. So yeah, it was in New York. Sorry, I couldn't stream, but did have things that were slightly work
Mm-hmm.
related. I worked on a skill while I was there. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you've played with skills as opposed to MCP servers.
Mm-hmm.
Played around with Claude Code. Have you heard of Claude
Mm-hmm.
Code?
Mm-hmm.
It seems all the kids are talking about Claude Code these
Yes.
days. But yeah, it was a good trip.
Cool. Yeah, I've been more onto the open code side, and I'm
Ah,
really impressed. Not open claw, open
right,
code. Yeah.
right. I went
It
looking
has
for
been
it the
great.
other day, and the repo changed. So I was trying to make a quote unquote polecats in Gastown, like
Mm-hmm.
workers, trying to get workers to use open code with open router free
Mm-hmm.
API, so free LLMs, what have you. So it's a little bit of a hard problem because I can change hour to hour, and they might have
Right.
resources or not, what have you. Um, OpenCode's repo used to be under SST OpenCode and has changed to
Yeah.
something else. And as a result, the model picked the older version, 0.48,
Oh.
I think, which is the old before it forked and things got a little bit dicey. And as a result, it couldn't use models with colons in them. So if I wanted to use like
Hmm.
parameter definitions for models, it wouldn't work. And I was like, well, I've used this before. That sounds weird. And then went looking for it, and it turns out the repo name has changed. And
Oh.
I think there's like a Charm version as well, and then the
Mm.
Open Code version. Because I think Charm acqui-hired one of the founders of Open Code, and they work there.
Okay.
Charm being a Go library, I think, for making
Oh,
TUI apps.
CLI. Yeah.
Is that, yeah? Is that
Yeah.
sound about right? Okay, yeah. Charm bracelet,
Um,
I think, is one that's
right.
pretty
Right.
popular. Anyway,
Very cool stuff.
yeah, I didn't like the way they took over the repo, so I didn't want to like their
Hmm.
tooling. But
Okay.
having just recently made a quick
Right.
TUI, it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Actually, it makes really cool. Like all I know is end curses, so for me, this is
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
better than or even curses. I guess is how it started out.
Yeah.
And curses is named. I mean, I'm sure you know why it's named curses. Is because that's what you're going to hear from my desk when I'm working on it. Uh, it's it's bad.
Yeah.
And curses is better, but still, it's very verbose. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people talk about the dry concept.
Right.
Now, I feel like dry could go only one way. Actually, otherwise it'd be dry, DNRY. I think dry actually stands for do repeat yourself, because it's not don't. And do repeat yourself is what you have to do with end curses. There's only
Okay.
the like yeah. Sorry, so don't would be
Yeah.
DNRY. I hate to be
Right.
that guy. But yes, it's very much a do repeat yourself.
Hmm.
DSL
Hmm.
library, yeah, it's a pain. Right.
Hmm.
That's what I've been playing around with. I also agree.
Yeah.
Open code seems to be the way to go, unless you're looking at something like Copilot CLI, which I think is also open source, or Gemini CLI, which is open
Hmm.
source. I
Hmm.
feel like between those three, you can get good ideas. Now,
Yeah.
um, I want to know what your favorite, like, what do you like about open code? Because I've got thoughts, and I wonder what yours are.
I don't
Like, does it
know.
flicker? It doesn't flicker. Is one of the main reasons why I like it. It does
Flicker.
not flicker. Every other open source or every other actually CLI quote unquote IDE for AI flickers to no end,
What
and
do you
it
mean by
shouldn't be a
flicker?
big deal. Mm, so I think we found out recently that the Cloud Code one flickers because it's hard coded to 60 frames per second in
Oh,
React,
like flicker.
like
Okay.
weirdly, like literally,
Really?
like my screen's flickering. And I think it's because Macs have like an adaptive resolution thing. I
Huh.
think, and I've got overhead lights that are probably running at 60 hertz. Like the combination of these three makes it so the screen is
Hmm.
like
Really?
stroboscopic, I think is the term, but it's like,
Okay.
ugh. I've been able to show it on screen sometimes, which is great, but generally when it tries to scroll long sessions, it gets into real trouble. So
Huh.
smaller sessions, no problem. Open code was actually worse when it started, and then I got quite a bit better. And
Okay.
I've had this happen in Gemini, and I've had this happen in Codex CLI as well.
Uh-huh.
But it just they flicker. They can't like
Huh.
they're not they're not good terminal apps. And I moved to
Okay.
Ghosty to
I
fix
didn't know
some of
that was
this
a
because
thing.
yeah, so
In
Ghosty's got
terminal.
GPU acceleration, yeah, which kind of
Okay.
helps, but it isn't
Okay.
great. Alacrity might actually be better,
Mm-hmm.
but like not always. I don't know. So I'm literally moving between macOS Terminal, if you can believe it, because it
Mm-hmm.
seems to be stable.
Mm-hmm.
Ghosty, which honestly crashes all the time, and I run out of P2Ys and like all types of
Oh, really?
weirdness. But it's in particular because I'm running like 160 TMUX sessions. I'm sure you can guess why. Um, just you know, just a thought. And when I run out of TMUX sessions, then I'll move over to Screen. I'm not sure if you heard of Screen before. It's been
Mm-hmm.
around for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Long time.
And then when I run out of Screen, like when Screen's really bad, I'll move into something called Zelly J or Zellage. Have
Zillage.
you ever used?
Yeah. I.
It's
It's great.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's
It's like
great.
the Nano equivalent to the Vim that is Tmux. Like all the commands are right there. It's like kid mode.
I
You can turn
mean,
them off,
I would think
but
of Nano
I
as
love
a
it.
lesser version of Vim, whereas Zillage is all of Tmux but better.
I'm thinking specifically about the GUI part. You know, when you're in Nano and it tells you what the command keys
Oh,
are
okay,
that you
yeah,
need to
yeah,
press.
okay,
I
okay.
guess this is my
That's what you're.
for this
Okay,
analogy
yes,
or
yes,
comparison. I'm comparing this
yeah,
small slice of the UI.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. It's great. Apart from there are for the default mappings, I guess there's conflict between OpenCode and Zellage, and I just set it to be what
Control
Control
T.
G to lock,
Yeah,
or yeah.
yeah.
Um,
The other thing that I've been noticing in these TUIs, IE,
mhm.
DEs is did you know you can press Control V to paste images into most of these CLIs? I somehow had missed this.
Hmm.
And over
Mm-hmm.
the weekend, I not Command V, but Control
Right,
V on
right.
a Mac. And it'll paste in, the only problem being that you can't tell what you pasted, so hopefully your clipboard had
Right,
the right thing.
right.
So I've certainly done that before, and I'm like, just ignore the photo of the pug that you just like the pug is not relevant. Like strike it from your context. And they're like,
uh,
I think the reply was, "What would you like me to do with this photo of a pug?" It's like a good question. Good question.
uh,
Which will happen. But yeah, I really feel like the team behind Open Code seems to have the right idea in mind.
right,
Is like the models are going to be less important than the way you interact with them.
right,
I think, or the LSP might be important in this context as well as in an editor.
right.
So can we add an LSP? And I think the rest of them, maybe I'm not sure about Copilot CLI, but I think the rest of them do use LSPs now for some
Mm-hmm.
languages. Like I used the Swift LSP in Cloud Code yesterday, which is
Mm-hmm.
super handy, in fact, because I don't know Swift.
Right, right.
So the model can at least like lint it and see
Yeah,
if there's errors
yeah.
linting and then fix those linting errors, which is nice.
Hmm.
But I'm totally here for open code. Open
Yeah.
code with free models on open routers seems to be the easiest way to test. I
Mm-hmm.
can't think of
Mm-hmm.
an easier way to test orchestration.
Yeah, I mean, I've
I've
been
definitely
doing
caught the
open
orchestration
code
bug.
with the models on Olama Cloud, and it's
Nice.
been great.
How is the tool calling? Because I know we've talked about that before, and I
Mm-hmm.
think the models that I've noticed on Olama seem to be 200 OSS. I think is the one that comes to mind.
Uh, GPT OSS 120, you mean?
Yeah, one
Yeah.
of those. That's exactly what I meant.
There's 20 or 120 on the GPT OSS.
Yeah,
Um,
It's
I mean,
120, not 200.
yeah,
My bad.
yeah,
But like,
uh,
so I know it's got good tool calling, for
yeah.
example. But I've had issues with Qwen3 Coder, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and tool calls will often fail.
Hmm. I don't know. It seems to work.
What model are you using? Is the
What
question.
was I using? Most recently, I can't remember what I was using. Um, was it
GLM
Minimax
Force
or
7?
GLM? Yeah,
Oh,
Minimax,
I
I
haven't
think.
used Minimax. Okay, how was
I
it?
mean, they're all. I
Are
mean,
they? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, there you go. They're interchangeable, right? So you didn't
interchangeable.
notice any
Yeah,
issues with tool calls,
no,
didn't notice any issues with the
no,
outputs. Yeah. I feel like a lot of them, once they hit 80 on, for
yeah,
coding, 80 on Sweetbench,
yeah,
it's like an okay enough engineer that I can
yeah.
work for them. You know what I mean? Get two or three of these engineers and yeah,
And
it's fine.
unlike, I mean, I'm finding that for a lot of projects, I was used to the idea of, two steps forward, one step back, and sometimes two steps back, one step forward, or worse.
Or
But I
lateral.
have
Yeah.
not seen that as much with open code and using the models on Olama Cloud. I just haven't. It hasn't been as much of a thing so
That's
far on
awesome.
just on the like
Yeah.
simple things I was doing.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's the bar, right?
yeah,
Now the model should be interchangeable. And
yeah.
if that's the case, what do we care about? Are you building skills or using agents.md or like other creature comforts that would make the model backend less important? Because you don't use a lot of
Hmm.
MCPs, for example, right? I generally
Right,
will use one or two. It's probably
right,
playwright and sequential thinking on or off
right.
for
Yep.
both of those.
I'm trying to remember what I was using. I don't know. I can't remember. I mean, it's been a week since I touched it, and I'm now like, what was I doing? I don't know.
Because I've been making skills and I feel like the skills are all right. But what's maybe more interesting to me is when I take a skill that's like Bash and I put it
Hmm.
into like a Python or a Go, and then
Hmm.
I tell it, no need for skill. This is a tool you can use. Here's how you
Right,
use it.
right.
It just seems to work, which is phenomenal. Like find the CLI tool, run the CLI tool,
Yeah,
we're good to go.
yeah,
I actually don't need like a skill MD file for that
yeah.
kind of stuff, but I've only got a few skills that I use. Datadog's one of them, of course.
Right.
Um, and I feel like I'm maybe it's like prior art basically because Datadog has a bunch of CLIs,
Hmm.
but I don't want a bunch. I want one CLI. So I
Right,
end up like
right.
redoing work
Yep.
that's already been done into one CLI, but it does make things a lot easier because I
Yeah,
use a lot of CLIs to do a lot of things. It's
yeah.
pretty phenomenal. So yeah, I
Cool.
feel like I feel like in your super secret project you're working on here, maybe you probably had an LSP or something. You,
Super
you weren't
secret.
linting
No,
your code.
no. I don't. Yeah, I can't remember what I have no recollection of what I was actually doing.
It's
Than
like
I was doing
3
something
a.m.
and it was
Just one
working. And
more
yeah,
prompt.
probably. I think it was late at night, and I'd finally put Stella to bed, and she finally went to sleep. And yeah,
I think I want to make those t-shirts. I think I'm at that point now. Just one more prompt t-shirts. Yeah, it's just like just one more page, just one more turn,
yeah,
just one more prompt for sure. Yeah, because I am definitely that person who is now up until I think yesterday was 1 a.m. It's not too bad,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I decided to rewrite Gastown in Kafka and Airflow because you know listen, have you looked at beads? Like, no offense to Yagi, but I'm really not a fan of beads. Beads is the way that they move
Right.
tasks back and forth, and it's
Yeah.
just it seems like we have this. Like we got
Right.
beads at home. I've been using it for 8 years. Like, come on. And in terms of an orchestrator, Airflow's pretty good. I mean, there are other
Yeah.
ones out there, but like if I'm gonna pick one, let's pick a real one.
Yeah.
Let's not invent some mayor rule that
Yeah.
I don't know. Cloud Code LARP says in order to get your stuff working. I mean, it can
Yeah.
easily replicate that because I guess what I probably would have reached for back in the day is Jenkins with a bunch of bash scripts, and I was like, no, like slapping my own hand, like, no, don't do that.
It
Oh
looks
shoot, we
like
got comments.
you got a
Sorry, let me wait
comment
for
from
those people.
Canada. There's a
I
Canadian.
see that. Yeah, yes, Canada mentioned.
Wow.
I'm gonna try say some nice things. There's a YouTube channel out there called "This Hour Has 22 Minutes," which might be alien to Americans, but let me say,
Hmm.
there's a recent video called I want to say it was called "Nice" was the name of the video. Give me 1 second. I will tell you what this is all about. Yes, it is when the agent is Canadian, so it's not ICE but NICE, and they're welcoming people to the country and saying hi and like
Yep,
welcome to
yep,
Canada, and then like
yep.
oh you're immigrating, like, let's
Yeah,
talk about that. This is be great.
the
Like
way the U.S.
geez,
used to be.
we
Yeah,
we need people. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, it's on this hour is 22 minutes, which is like a Canadian like sketch comedy show,
Right.
which I would highly recommend because I think there's lots of stuff going on. We try to be
Wow.
nice, you know.
Wow.
It's yeah. Oh, there we go. So like and lo and behold, the Canadian does in fact know this hour is 22 minutes. Just saying. And thank you, Just Rising Grind. Hello, thanks for joining us. So I think what I'm hearing a lot from the Olama crowd is more and more people are using hosted Olama. Am I in the minority who is now reaching to like Llama 3.2 and Fee 4 or 5.4 to just do like quick snap decisions? They seem faster. Like
Fee
loading into
five
memory is
four.
quick.
What?
Uh, 5.4 from Microsoft or Fee
Oh,
4?
okay,
I think
okay, okay.
Fee is the right name.
I, I
PHI
was
4?
thinking fee fi fo fum. I was like,
I
what?
know you were.
What?
I saw exactly where that was going. You, sir, narrate to children, whereas I do not, or have not in quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those small little models, because a
Right.
lot of the time, what I'll get back from a Claude or get back from like an Opus, sorry, or a Sonnet, or maybe like Gemini 3 Pro, is a bunch of options, and it's like, I
Mm,
mean, this is fantastic, but also, why don't you decide for me? It like
right.
if I were the boss, the manager, I would say, don't come to me with questions, come to me with answers or
Right.
solutions.
Right.
This is neither of those things.
Hmm,
And what I end up doing is just saying, ask Olama, or
right.
like ask Quinn. Like there's other help here that you can work with. And what I've noticed recently in the Codex app for Mac is that there are protected words that cause it to no longer work for you. One of those words is Quen, Qwen.
Uh huh.
One of those words, though, that really ticks me off is continue, which is something I use all the
Hmm.
time. Like,
Okay.
continue. I mean, you're not done. Continue. And I think it's because Continue is a competing CLI app. Maybe it's all I could come up with. But
I mean, Continue
Olama
was
does it.
the first really good VS
Yeah.
Code add-in that
Yeah.
used Olama.
Yeah, it was so weird. And so there's a couple things that would cause it to say, like, hey, your message is against terms and conditions. And like, well,
Hmm.
my message literally only says continue.
Huh.
The other one was do it all, because it
Huh.
always gives you three options. Like, listen, I've been working with you for 24 hours now. You always give me three options. Just do it
Right.
all. And I just kept pasting do it all. And it's
Right.
like, no, you can't use this. It's against the terms and
Huh.
conditions. I think what they're trying to do is make sure the person or the thing driving the model is a human, because it
Ah,
will,
okay.
when you look at the outputs, it's like pick A or B, or like
Right.
pick one of these three options, and it's like, oh, this is
Right.
like a skill testing question to see if I'm still
Right.
here,
Captcha.
still doing this. Yeah, just like a captcha. But if you type in like do this with Olama and Quen 3 coder, it's like absolutely not. Like
Yeah.
you did it yesterday. I've got like a,
Huh.
and he's like, yeah, but now I can't. It's like, did I
Huh.
do it too much? No answer. Like, oh, okay.
Okay.
But if I say sling more polecats, note the weird language, it'll work. And I wanted to laugh at Yeg for making up all these odd names, but when it comes to programming, they're absolutely unique. So I can
Yeah.
understand why,
Yeah.
like why you're using code words for things. Like
Yeah.
instead of saying contractors, because you could be talking about real contractors. It's like, nah, talk to the polecats, because polecats aren't going to come up in your
No.
coding. I don't
No.
think. I can't imagine it happening.
I mean, it's like
Anyway, this
uh, um, prefixing your abbreviations with a semicolon or two for before you pass it to like typinator or what's the other one? The type expansion
type ahead.
tools.
Yep. I
Um,
used to use text expander.
Text
That was
expander. That was
mine.
the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used the Windows version, funnily enough, which I think was
Hmm.
a different app than the Mac version, because the
Hmm.
Windows one was not great, but the Mac
No.
one was so
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
It's so weird. But it does feel like text expander is it's kind of how do I say this? It's like it's passe. Like text
Yeah.
expansion is a solved problem now, which is weird. So weird. Do you
Yeah. So what? I mean, I still use Typinator every day.
oh
Well, how is it solved? What do you use instead? What do you do?
so remember we talked about Bolt AI? Do
Oh
you
yeah,
remember
yeah,
Bolt?
yeah.
Not Bolt AI
Right,
like Bolt.dev, but the fourth, I think, Bolt,
right. Yeah,
the fourth Bolt AI that is a Mac app. I purchased a
right.
lifetime
Yep.
license for, which is probably a bad idea. Don't do that. Does text expansion though, and
Yeah.
we'll do it with like a local model, remote
Right.
model, or whatever.
Okay.
It's actually pretty freaking
Yeah.
fast.
So
It's
I
kind of
I
nice.
use I mean I use Code Typist. I think is another one that
Yep.
is
I
out.
think that's the, like be all and all right now, right?
Right.
Is code typist? Yeah.
Um, but I still, I mean, that's great if I'm typing and I want to like complete the sentence. But for just doing, I don't know, I can't remember what I do. Semicolon PH for my phone number, or certain little things to like expand out my address or expand out my, I think I do MTM to expand out my email address. I use that like a dozen times a day.
Yeah, I,
Um,
I don't think so. Those hard coded ones, I don't think are the ones you want. It's more like when you're typing in iMessage, you know how you type a
mm,
sentence and then it kind of suggests the rest of the sentence?
mm-hmm.
It's more like that
Yeah,
if it
for that
makes
kind of thing.
sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Which which is handy, but not the same as what you're
right,
talking about, which
right.
is like that's next level.
Yeah,
I think being able to have a lookup sheet basically and type in
yeah,
3 characters and
and
I'm done.
and
That's
having not only that, but there's a number of ones that I do where I type, semicolon. I use semicolons as my kind of prefix,
mhm,
and then something else, and it will grab some information from a database and some information from
mhm.
and randomly choose from a list and then spit that out all in less time than I
Do it
notice.
yourself, yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it's that's great.
Yeah, it feels like those little tools are the ones where like you're coming for their money. Like you're trying to eat their lunch, right?
Right,
Not the world at large is going to Sherlock them, but the dev who's using your tool right now
right.
is going to Sherlock you because they're like, I could probably vibe code this,
Yeah, yeah,
and they will go out there and do it, which is kind
yeah.
of interesting. And it feels like those small apps, like Moom is one that I use a lot, and
Hmm.
did get Sherlocked. Moom will move things and
Yeah,
do this side, and that's just part of Tahoe, for example.
right.
And it's like a lot of people, I think, were trying to make their own as well at the same time. So then there are like 5 or 6 Moom competitors, and then
Hmm.
Apple is just like, we'll
Lasso,
handle
by the
this.
way, in that
Yeah,
area, Lasso has
yeah.
been the one that is fantastic for me.
Mm,
Um,
Lasso, interesting.
yeah.
I
Um,
hmm. I haven't heard of Lasso.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
look this one up
Yeah.
because I do feel like window management is
Yeah.
a big deal.
Um, cool. Well, my weekend was
Yeah.
a little different. I did not do
You didn't
AI
AI at all?
things.
Oh, what do
I
you do?
well, I guess the weekend kind of started on Thursday. So Thursdays we have a babysitter come by and take care and be with Stella. And then Tony and I go and we'll have dinner, we'll go see a movie, we'll do different things. But we need to get a second car now in the next
Okay.
few months. My Tony is getting a job. She hasn't been. I mean, her job. She spends much of the day with Stella and doing. She's on a bunch of boards as well.
Mhm.
But Stella goes to a school here on the island called Madrona,
Okay.
and Tony will be the head of school starting in July. So
That's awesome.
yeah, but it means we need another car.
Right.
Um, and so there are a bunch of cars in our list of things we want to try, things that would kind of fit the bill. And the first thing on getting some of the dealers are in Seattle, but getting to
Mhm.
Seattle and back and doing the test drive we can't do on while Stella is with this babysitter, so it just takes too long. So we went down towards Bremerton, which is like an hour drive south,
Mhm.
and we went to not quite Bremerton, but a dealer that does Hyundai and Volkswagen in the same two I wouldn't picture going
Right.
together. but they had them.
German, I think, and maybe South Korean.
Yeah, yeah, very strange. But
Okay.
we got a chance because we wanted to try the ID Buzz.
Oh,
The little
that's the
van.
that's the bus, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
buzz,
yeah.
not bus. Yeah, yeah.
And it was terrible. Uh,
I have heard it's not
it is
great.
a
Okay.
noisy car. Um,
Oh,
it's
interesting.
got a lot of pickup. I mean, it's like any other
Yeah,
EV these days. I mean, even the worst of EVs have
torque.
a really amazing pickup. But the thing itself, I mean, it's just I, I couldn't imagine being in that. I mean, it is definitely a minivan. It is, the old ones, yes, minivan esque, but it was a VW bus. I mean, that was its own thing. But this is like totally just a minivan. Um,
Gotcha.
which, if you're into minivans, that's great.
It's not the same
Um,
as a VW bus, so yeah.
no, no. So then we also wanted to try out the Ionic 9 from Hyundai.
Okay. I've seen the
Um,
5. I haven't seen the 9. Okay.
yeah, the 9 is kind of their SUV kind of thing,
Gotcha.
or one of them. And so that was nice. It drove nicely. It felt very much. Um, it reminded us a lot of our current car, which is a Volvo XC40, which we've had for 5 years, 6 years, um, which is a gas car. But and
Hmm.
then we went to try the Santa Fe hybrid,
Hmm.
and we didn't get to drive it because it was actually low on gas, so, and we didn't have to. It was like about to close. The dealership was about to close, and so he's like, okay, well, we can feel just sitting in this thing is like, oh, it's not as nice. And even the when I say it was reminded us of the Volvo minus the like overall fit. I'm not fit, but it was a very plasticky feel of a car. I mean, because it's a lot cheaper, although not I mean, actually, compared to our XC40, that Hyundai Ionic 9 is much more expensive. Um, but I mean, it's there towards the higher end of their line. Um, and So that was interesting. And then Saturday comes along. We think, look, well, Saturday we have we'll go with Stella and go hit a couple of dealers that are in Seattle, but we can have Stella in the car with us, and you'll make it a whole day of it, and she'll go to the toy store and get something as reward for sitting through this.
Hmm.
And so we go to Rivian, and
Oh,
we
okay.
try out an R1S, and that thing was
Okay.
spectacular.
It's a very different interior, right, compared to the ID Buzz. Apparently, the interior is
Yes,
really nice.
the interior
Yeah,
is really
yeah.
really nice.
And I will
Um,
say, I know someone who works there, so I'm like,
okay,
I've got some,
yeah, we have a friend who
and I've
works
talked
there
to
as
some of their
well.
speakers, and I'm like,
They've
man, I want to hate it, but
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
yeah. We have a friend who's worked there for like 8 years,
There you go.
and
Yeah.
loves it. And so we really enjoyed it. Um, and then that dealer, or they're not dealers. They have to remind you, we're not dealers. We can't
Right.
talk about price. We can
Right.
show you and educate you on the car, but if you want to buy it, you have to go to the website. So we are not. Washington law does not allow us to say anything about prices, and so sometimes we would say like ask a question and not realize we were asking about price, and they'd say we can't tell you, can't say anything about that because we're not a dealer. Um, but getting to that dealer was really hard because we take the ferry and then
Mhm.
drive to University Village, by University of Washington, and just that drive from downtown, from the ferry to U Village, which is, I don't know, 5 miles or so, if that,
Mhm.
less than that, took hour and a half.
Holy moly!
Oh my
You
god,
could
it
have
was awful.
helicoptered.
It was awful. And most of it was
Wow.
just sitting in one uh, off ramp from 520, I think it is. Whatever it is,
Wow.
to just
The Rivian just would
nightmarish.
have driven
It would
over
have
all
been
of those
amazing. It
cars.
would have been amazing. So anyway, we do that, and then we think, well, also in this mall, there's another non-dealer that offers educational drives of cars, and that's Lucid. And
Yes.
and so we went and looked at the Lucid Gravity, and it sounded like they were full. There was no drives available, but they said we can give you a drive at 5 o'clock. It's like, which was like an hour out. So great, we stay for that. It is the single nicest car I have ever been in. It is
Really?
absolutely spectacular. The
Huh.
Lucid Gravity. Oh my god. Um, and
Really?
oh my god. And for
There's a showroom next to Apple Store, so I've like looked in, and
oh, it
it's in
is. Yeah,
Vancouver at least.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but you know,
I mean, the Lucid, the
how,
Lucid Air. I mean,
right,
that. What's up with that back? I mean, it is
right.
such an ugly car, and the Gravity has some of that ugliness. And then once
Okay.
you actually step in and you drive, it's like, okay, I can look past the ugliness of the back end of that car, but because it is so fun to drive and such a wonderful experience to drive. I
It's not that
was
bad.
and pricing is it actually works out to be about the same as the Rivian, but I think the Rivian starts at
Six
79.
people? No, no, no. More. 7 people. Wow.
I think
That's
the Rivian
incredible.
starts at like 79, and so does, I mean, the Lucid starts at 80, which
Wow.
is
That's
far
a
more
lot of people,
expensive than
though.
we've ever
Yeah, yeah,
ever
yeah.
thought about putting into a car. But um, it was a spectacular ride.
That
Now,
is really cool.
oh,
Mhm.
you were gonna say
Well, I was going to go on a quick side. Do you remember AJ at Datadog? AJ
AJ?
Stoivenberg did a lot of
Hmm.
Lambda stuff with
Oh yeah,
AWS.
no.
Okay, so I'm in your comments on YouTube trying to spam a link, and it's probably stuck in moderation. I'm so sorry. But AJ was talking about on LinkedIn how he used Claudebot to buy, I think it was Hyundai, is what he went with.
Uh-huh.
But it basically automated the negotiation and
Oh, okay.
texting and all of that for him, which I thought is where you're going for this whole thing. But then you took a left turn.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. My
Hmm.
apologies.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's any negotiation. I don't know if there's any negotiation available for this
Fair
kind of
enough.
thing. Uh, but there's a couple of videos, some of which are updated in the last month, that just talk about here is the long list of software bugs in the Lucid Gravity, and it is like horrendous. I mean, there are things that are like basic functionality that it fails on. Like the doors don't open sometimes, or
That is with a
when not
child. That is
once you're
not cool.
inside. When you're inside, it's fine. But apparently, using the card key or whatever, it sometimes doesn't present the door handle correctly, or um, and but then um, around the time
So
of
you're,
that
so you're saying
video,
I can vibe code a car?
well, around the time of that video, there were all sorts of articles about how Lucid basically fired their software team or fired the leadership for
Oh
software.
shoot.
Um,
Okay.
and
But maybe that's what you got to do when the software is that bad. Like,
yeah,
sorry,
I mean,
I hate to be that guy, but
and
sometimes.
and so then there was a software update about a month ago that fixed a lot of the problems, and then another
Nice.
software update that went out this past weekend, and people are updating the video saying, "Okay, all those horrible things we said a month ago, they're all gone. It's now a perfect car."
Yeah,
Um,
it pains
it's
me to
pretty
say, but
interesting.
sometimes, like when it comes to software, you
Yeah,
like dig a hole and you can't. Yeah, the
yeah,
team's not gonna.
but they managed to
So
get
dumb team.
themselves out of that in a month. So that
That's
was.
that's pretty cool.
And so
That's
the one last comment about this is that I
so you pull
contacted.
the trigger on the software buggy,
No,
nice
no,
interior car. Oh,
no.
okay, okay. I was like, whoa, whoa,
One
whoa! This is
last
not
thing.
how you select a car.
So I talked to a friend who has a Rivian R1T and then bought a Lucid Air and also 2 months ago got a Lucid Gravity, so he's got the three kind of.
That's a rough life, huh?
Yeah, well, but he was talking about how the R1T or R1T is amazing, but then the Gravity is like a whole new level on top of what the Rivian offers. And so, like, okay, well, I gotta. Here's a voice I
Okay.
trust.
Assuming they'll fix the,
Yeah,
yeah, assuming they'll fix the
yeah,
bugs, yeah.
yeah.
But
And
I
it
think
sounds like
people who
most
have
of
many
those bugs are
cars,
all fixed.
yeah, and I think people who have many cars, like I also have some friends who just collect cars. I don't know why. They seem to have like a good opinion about how they
Hmm.
compare, which is
Yeah,
difficult to get like when you're at a dealer because
yeah,
you don't have both cars from different brands, and
right.
it's difficult to compare and contrast. But
One
I'm
thing
very
he,
surprised about the Lucy because I had like
yeah,
I had assumed they were just like a non-entity essentially.
yeah.
Software bugs are one thing, but I heard other things about the just how the car works. Like it just no hard stop. I think some of that I might have been just having looked it up, conflating with the Fisker Karma. I think
Oh
it was.
yeah, the Fisker
And
Ocean.
Ocean, sorry, yes,
Yeah,
Ocean, not Karma, Fisker Ocean. And I was like, oh right,
and
dude,
so
forgotten about this car.
yeah,
Or the
I
VinFast. Have you
wonder.
heard of the VinFast?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
um, the Fisker is interesting. So one of the problems going against both Rivian and Lucid is that, well, they're young companies and they needed
Mhm.
help to kind of get them go past a point in the last couple of
Mhm.
years. I mean, they're like using up money really really fast. Now Rivian
Yeah.
has the support of VW to keep going,
Mhm.
and others, but and Lucid has a lot of money coming in from the Saudi government.
Oh, okay.
Um, and so they're kind of, if as long as they don't do something really stupid, they'll probably stay afloat. But I guess Fisker was thinking they'd stay afloat, and they went under with they had a really bad release. Um, but
No, they call me traditional, but like in my mind, Toyota Rav4 would be in the running here. And I hate to say the T name, but like is Tesla not like if you're are
yeah,
they not part of this?
we
And
were we did a
and as a
test drive
Nissan
of a
fan, like it kills me.
we
There's
did
no
a
no
test drive
Nissan
of a
Quest in
couple of
there.
Teslas, and there's no way we
Yeah,
would ever buy a Tesla. They are so
I don't like the fit and
poorly
finish
built.
personally. Yeah,
I mean, they
sorry,
just
it's just like
rattle. I
it's
mean, this
obvious.
was I've
Yeah,
been in every Tesla I've been in. It like rattles. The plastic is all grinding shit. It's like what? Who buys this garbage? Um,
yeah. Well, taxi. I don't want to say taxi drivers. A lot of Uber drivers here, at least,
yeah,
drive the Teslas.
yeah,
Quite popular. Model X is quite
yeah,
popular in Vancouver,
yeah.
and
And I've been
honestly,
in
that's
a
the one I
bunch
have
of
the
them,
most
and
problem with.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know why. So yeah, um,
and
but
then nothing else like Hyundai, Toyota,
we're gonna get.
Honda,
We still want to check out
Nissan.
the. Well, I've heard bad things about the Honda Prelude, which I think would be
Okay,
interesting.
okay.
The I definitely want to
Toyota
try out the
Sienna.
Kia EV9, which
Okay.
is another SUV. I mean, I think we're looking at EV SUV kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
There's the BMW iX.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And the Toyota is the BZ, which not the Rav4. My apologies, but it looks like a
yeah.
Rav4.
And then there's the Genesis GV70, I think it is, or
That is a
which
nice looking car. I
looks incredible.
generally, yeah, not a fan of like South Korean car design generally, but the Genesis line
It
that's kind of
is
like their Acura,
spectacular.
I think for Hyundai, right? I feel
Yeah,
like their upper, yeah.
yeah,
The Genesis SUV is actually okay looking, and I felt
yeah,
like, why do I like this? Woo, who they
yeah,
hired to design this? It looks
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I saw a couple on the island. I was like, I had to do double takes. Like, what is that? Oh, that's a Genesis. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I I like the boxy design of a lot of these newer cars, but there's
Hmm.
something in me that just likes that sort of like timeless design. I think of the
Right,
Genesis, where it
right.
looks like it's modern, but also it's a bit of a throwback.
Yeah,
Yeah, in terms of body design. Listen, we talked about cars for a while. We got
we
about
did.
10 minutes to
Yeah.
go. I've got a quick
Ooh,
recommendation for
yeah.
you. Um, Now, listen, I know you play Switch sometimes. I know you play other things as well. I have a feeling in your game libraries, you probably own this without realizing it. What I'd like to recommend before it gets pulled, because I think that's what's going to happen, is Burnout Paradise. Now, Burnout is a game where you're driving
Driving a
cars. So
car, right? Yeah, okay.
it's topical. It's also an open world. So imagine instead of Death Stranding, where you're like holding boxes and walking around,
Mm-hmm.
you're in a car and driving around, and how you
Mm-hmm.
get missions is driving. So in terms of the core gameplay mechanic, let's say it's way more
Right.
enjoyable, sorry, than like a walking sim. It's
Right.
super fun. The other thing about Burnout, the series, is that generally there's no licensed cars in them because
Mm.
you're crashing these cars.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
how do we say, it's, you're motivated, you're incentivized to crash your car more often than not, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
Tony Hawk. You just respawn, whatever.
Right.
Why I think it's going to get pulled is because it has an amazing soundtrack.
Oh.
For example, it has the song "Paradise City" when you start up the game, which is phenomenal. It's like a lot of throwback, like
Uh-huh.
licensed big name
Mm-hmm.
tracks, and it, I think it was $3, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure you have it for free as part of like your
Hmm.
Xbox thing. I must have spent an easy 20 hours in this game over the last 2 weeks, just driving
Yeah.
around and taking corners and jumping through signs, and
Hmm.
it's kind of fun. It reminds me a lot of San Francisco Rush, which is a very old
Right.
game. That's an arcade
Yeah.
racer, but you're not really racing. You're just driving around, causing mayhem,
Yeah.
driving in and out of traffic, whatever. The city, there's portions of the city that feel like the Pacific Northwest, like I
Mm-hmm.
5. And there's parts that feel like LA. There's parts that feel a little bit like SF. It's like a West Coast experience,
Right.
let's say, and it's neat. It
Wow.
kind of, I'm driving through this tunnel thinking, hey, this feels like the Coquihalla. I bet you they modeled it after the
Yeah.
Coquihalla. There is a bridge in there that might be very similar to a red bridge in San Francisco. I don't know, just maybe a little bit shorter,
Yeah.
but it's really fun in that, like, it's like very low stakes, high enjoyment,
Yeah.
and good music. So for me, it was a
Yeah.
good way to like tune out. Listen, there's a lot of stuff going on these
Right.
days, so I was like, hey,
Yep.
time for a happy video game. In
Yep.
terms of just driving around with a car and having fun, I can't think of a better
Hmm.
game right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun, and I think a lot of people on the call probably just, or not on the call, on the stream, probably have this game, or bought this game for like $1
Why
and
would
never
it
played
get
it.
pulled?
Because I think what happens with games like this with licensed music is they have to keep upping the license. So they'll license it for 5 years,
Oh.
not in perpetuity. And with a song like Paradise City, they would
Mm-hmm.
have to keep renegotiating the license.
Right.
There's rumors that it might like leave and then come back as part of a platinum collection or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
but it probably won't have the same music. And
Right.
that's
Okay.
there's also like,
The,
it's a product of its time, and that there's a lot of 2000s screamo new metal
yeah.
in there as
Uh-huh.
well. I mean, there's also classical music, which is
Yeah.
fantastic, but it's really interesting just to hear the songs. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, these are okay at the time, but like, they really didn't.
Wow.
It's kind of fun. But yeah,
I,
the
I
classic rock selection is
I
fantastic.
remember there was a motorcycle game we used to play on the
Mm.
PCs in
Yep.
our office in New York City. That should have
Yeah.
been right around 90, 92, somewhere on there.
Ooh,
And it
Road
was,
Rash.
huh?
Road Rash from EA,
That
also
might have
EA.
been it, because
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's one of the first 3D
it
motorcycle
it
games.
had Super Unknown by Soundgarden. Um,
Yeah.
and
Speaking of,
before
yeah,
that, Soundgarden got to be, I mean, they were like a nothing band. It was like this little, and
nice.
then like, oh, this was, amazing soundtrack later on. Um, yeah, it's interesting.
Anyway, that's my
Okay.
recommendation. Now you get 8 minutes to recommend another car.
I'm trying to think.
We're not sponsored, by the way. Don't go
I'm
and buy
trying
a
to. I mean,
Genesis.
I got into playing with Talos 2,
Ooh,
which
the
is,
Talos Principle. Yeah,
yeah, that's been fun.
yeah. Have you heard of Jonathan Blow? Does that ring a bell
No,
to you? Jonathan
no.
Blow is a game developer of some repute who made a game called that's very similar to that game. What was it called? The Witness. Have you heard of The
Oh yeah,
Witness?
yeah,
Right? I thought,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
did you know that Myst just got re-released?
I
MYST?
did re-release.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
re-released, remade,
I
revamped.
almost bought it for, and ended up doing the what of that one, a Death Stranded, just whatever,
The Stranding. Yep.
instead.
I feel
Which
like Myst
now
might be a
I
better
see
game. No offense
is
to
on
Kojima.
Xbox Game Pass, so I
Perfect.
played it on the TV. And so one of the questions I think you asked, you or somebody asked, well, what's the graphics like on this iPad?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I haven't seen anything else, so I don't know. Um,
Right.
and seeing it now on the TV, which streams it, oh my God, the graphics are so much more detailed.
You can see more.
See
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
more than I could on the iPad, which is interesting. So this
Yeah.
streaming game that where there's nothing stored locally versus
It's
gigabytes of
weird, eh?
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And I think for me, what really set that game apart, it's gonna sound really silly, the water in the earlier scenes of that
Mm,
game, if you
mm,
look at the water, it's like
yeah,
remarkably lifelike. And
yeah.
that's one of those ways that you can kind of tell how much time a developer has spent on a game.
Right.
It's not required, right? Like water
Yeah,
just needs to be in the background,
yeah,
whatever. But you're walking through it,
yeah,
so it's a
yeah.
key portion of the game, especially in the beginning. And you die in the water, you land in the water.
Right.
And it's like remarkably good.
Yeah, yeah,
Like believably good, which is
yeah,
saying a lot about
yeah.
water for a video game. And then the streaming part, what's interesting, I think, to our brains is that we've gotten used to or maybe our brains just don't see like a little bit of pixelation towards the corners of the screen.
Hmm.
I think it's called foveated rendering. So they
Hmm.
send you more detail in the middle.
Right.
Maybe it's foveated streaming, I guess, in this case, versus the corners, because you're
Right.
probably looking. You kind of have tunnel vision. There might be some elements
Yeah.
like your inventory or whatever, but a lot of it is just those hot spots that it does,
Mm,
and we don't even notice all the garbage that's going around.
right.
And people are complaining these days about AI generated upscaling and stuff like that. And
Right.
I've looked at Cyberpunk, which I know pretty well. I can't tell the difference. Like I have to
Yeah.
pause and really scrutinize to
Yeah.
see like if the shadows are different. But like if we can do that, streaming is not a
Yeah.
problem whatsoever. I don't think our eyes can tell
Yeah.
the streaming
Yeah.
unless it's like a swarm of birds
Yeah. Oh
in
yeah.
Blue Planet and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's the
Yeah.
only time.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else that would have acquired recently.
Have you played with
Um,
the new like leaked Anthropic models or anything? That are you under NDA that we know?
no,
Nothing like
no,
that. Okay, good.
no,
Good to know.
no.
You wouldn't tell us
Nobody
if
gives me
you
anything.
were.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough.
Um, no. I can't think of
That's it.
anything
And then we lost them.
well, we okay. So I
Well,
do have
oh,
one recommendation of something that I didn't know was necessary. There is nothing new about this thing. We got it last
okay,
night. We ordered it
okay,
yesterday morning, and it was delivered the
okay.
same day. So it was like, oh, this is really cool.
High
But
demand. Okay,
so same day delivery. I don't know if we've had access to on Bainbridge. I mean, if you're
right,
across the water in Seattle,
right.
that's a normal thing. But I don't know if I've ever seen that available for anything before. Uh, so Stella, our daughter, ended up on Friday, jump. I'm not sure if she fell into the water or jumped into the water or just like
Oh
was
shoot!
in the water, and had a great time. But that meant her boots were soaking wet.
Right.
And by Sunday, so that was on Friday. On Sunday, they were still soaking wet. Like
Hmm.
water. I mean, every time we flip the boot over, there's more water coming out. It's like, we just poured it, we just emptied it a few seconds ago, and now there's more water coming out. Um, and uh, and so yesterday morning, we finally ordered a boot warmer, drier thing.
Yeah,
I've never
yeah,
owned one of
yeah.
these things before.
Me either.
Oh my
And
god, it's like magic. You
like
put the
life
boot
changing.
on, and the next morning, I think really the night before, or last night, it's dry, and I mean it's not like I
I'm
was a
gonna have to
little
try
worried
this.
because they were
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
rubbery boots on the outside. I was gonna melt,
Might melt
but
or
no,
something. Yeah, yeah.
it's just this low constant heat. Not so much a blower, but because it's into a enclosed space, it
Yeah, it's got like a little pylon or something, right?
it's
That the
like a
boots go
pylon
over.
and like a little bit of an angle, so like it
Okay, it
aims
gets to the toes. Yeah,
and it
yeah.
gets everywhere. And My daughter tried them on and says they feel drier than they've ever since even the drier than the day we bought it. Bought the
Oh, they've
shoes.
been like
They
wet the
were
whole
like,
time. Poor
this
thing.
is the most amazing thing. And it's like, oh my God.
Your poor
A
daughters are
boot
walking
warmer,
around in
boot dryer,
soggy feet.
whatever it
Yeah.
is. So
Oh, you got to get her
I'm
better socks or something. The poor thing.
she's wearing wool socks and all that. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, if there's water in there, they just they'll
yeah,
hold the
yeah.
water. Unfortunately,
So
wool socks are nice though.
so boot warmer, boot heater, whatever, dryer.
Boot heater, boot warmer.
$35 or something. And so I can't believe we didn't buy one of these years ago.
We did that recently with an Amazon Basics shredder of all things. We
Oh
just
yeah,
like
okay.
put stuff to pile to shred, and then what do we
Well,
do?
what kind of
Where do we shred
shredding?
it? It's mm, it's wavy and crisscross, if that makes
Okay.
sense. So it's not
So I mean,
just
there's like
yeah, it's
you can get the strips, or you can
right,
get
not like
the
that.
crisscross, or you can get the confetti.
I think it's wavy crisscross. It is literally just an Amazon Basics. It was 45 Canadian, so probably like
So
35 US.
that is like the confetti that we get from
Yeah,
ours.
yes. So you can't. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
You
For
can't
all of
recreate this.
our, I don't know what we're trying to protect. I was just,
Banks send me
yeah, bank
stuff. Sometimes I
statements.
get
It's, yeah.
oh, or like I don't invest in a lot, but I had invested in some ETFs a long time ago,
Hmm.
and they're going away. I don't know how that happens. So like cool, but also like need my money. And they keep sending me stuff. And it's like
Uh-huh.
the stuff's cool. I've already taken action. We just stop printing my name, all my finance
Right. Yeah.
details, and
Yeah.
all this stuff on these, the
Yeah.
5 or 6 copies of these that you
Right.
sent, and I've already taken care of it. But like I also need to shred these. I can't be
Yeah.
throwing them out. And listen, not that I've got a lot of money in these ETFs,
Yeah.
but I don't want all my details just
Yeah. Yeah.
willy nilly landing in the trash because anybody can
Right.
open up the bag and get all your finance data, etc. Open up, I don't know, some credit card in my name.
All right.
Uh, Now, this is going to be relevant to that and maybe more relevant to me than you, but apparently there is a credit card skimmer on the Canada Computers website, which is a local it's where you go to get cheap parts basically for the
Uh-huh.
longest time. When there was no NCIX, Canada Computers was kind of the
Uh-huh.
competition. Memory Express would be like the other. And for years, it was giving credit card numbers they didn't know. And I've definitely bought stuff in there. And I'm like, I don't know. I think the credit card number expired, but I don't know if that's enough
Right.
protection. It's like, oh, it's not good. So PSA to anybody in the Pacific Northwest, or maybe I guess they have one in Ontario. If you ordered from Canada Computers, you might want to look into that as
Wow.
well. Yeah.
I'm
It's
surprised. So
ingrained.
one of the things I thought we would talk about and we didn't talk about, and which I'm glad we didn't talk about because I think it's stupid generally, is the open claw. We didn't talk about it.
So we did, but you kind of
Did
missed it.
we?
So AJ bought his car using
Oh,
OpenClaw.
okay. We did
It,
briefly mention it. Okay.
yeah, and I might have said ClodBot instead of
Yeah.
OpenClaw, or
Okay. Yeah.
I
I
won't say
think.
MoltBot because I think that's
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
Whatever, you had to change names. I get it. I am running it,
Okay.
and I think the PSA to the wise out there is that one, it comes with open telemetry capabilities. Turn those on because you want to know what's going on.
Right.
The second is it comes with tail scale, which is a requirement, not a nice to have. The third is that it doesn't have internet access by default. That is a rational default. The fourth would be just because it's got 57 skills, don't turn them all
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Turn maybe one of those skills
Yeah.
on if you're like using WhatsApp or iMessage. Wouldn't recommend either of those either.
Yeah.
It's a really good, on the other hand, local network manager of managers that has a
Mhm.
built-in cron scheduler,
Right.
awesome, and built-in polling, awesome. So it can manage your agents for you. I would highly suggest not doing anything else with it.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't, but when you do, fork it, make it
Yeah.
your own
Yeah.
because it does things like at least when I installed it, it tried to UPnP turn on SSH, so 22. It tried to open up to the world. Like if you've
Mhm.
got an off-the-shelf router from Best Buy, SSH is now open to the box that's
Wow.
running it. So a lot of people are putting it on Mac Minis. That's probably cool, but it's on your network. It will find your other
Yeah.
computers.
Yeah.
I saw it do an MDNS lookup for other SSH servers while I was in there, which is like a little bit advanced. So I don't know
Mhm.
if you know too much about multicast DNS discovery, but they're like they're DNS records that start with dot underscore, so they're secret
Mm,
DNS records that you wouldn't normally see in your
right.
tool. You can find them via our broadcast messages, which is again something that most users would not find.
Right.
It will find things on your network and connect to them.
Right.
Be careful. Cordon
So
it off, put it on its own VLAN.
Tailscale.
Like it's yes.
One thing I haven't, I every time I've used Tailscale, which is magical, I am
Mm-hmm.
purely, I do it with things I trust already, and this I wouldn't trust. So
Gotcha. Just make another
I'm
tailnet.
okay. So you're creating a separate tailnet for that. Okay.
Yeah, like another VLAN. Yeah,
Yeah.
and do not allow them to talk
Yeah. No.
or
No.
allow like one computer to talk to it or something. But like literally cordon this off because it's like having
Yeah.
a in the nicest of ways a junior engineer that is very smart and very capable and can do a lot of things, but is very junior and
Yeah.
doesn't know that it shouldn't be doing a lot of things. And like
Yeah.
the guidelines you would need to give it would be ridiculous just because of all of the integrations. It's kind of like Datadog, and then it's got hundreds of integrations,
Yeah.
and that's really the problem.
Yeah.
On top of which, it's got a marketplace for skills that you can
Yeah.
install, and I think 582 of them today were found out to be like credential stealers and things like that.
Hmm.
Like literally approach with caution. But I feel like a lot of the paradigms that are in Claudebot,
Yeah.
you could probably create on your own if you wanted to. It's also got like a pretty cool GUI app that I think might be of interest to
Yeah.
people. But that GUI app can connect to anything that's Claudebot capable as a backend, and I feel like forking it is what most people will do.
Right.
It's better. You don't want this repo out
Yeah.
there publicly because what it can do is very strong. So what you want to do is have your own fork of it that you, I don't know,
Yeah.
port it to Zig or Rust or Swift
Right.
or what have you. But I would say as it is, it's got a bunch of vulnerabilities. It does things by default that are insecure in my mind, including opening up its own web ports,
Hmm.
UDP and TCP. Like SSH is one thing, but if it's just on the web, I mean, that's
Yeah.
a whole other thing. I did use it for a while. I had it open up to just WhatsApp, and I used it on the plane until the entire box failed. I think it failed because it was trying to run too many Olama sessions at once,
Mm.
funnily enough, and then just like shut down. Having done that before, it just runs on a memory, it tries to page the disk, just runs
Right.
out of space, and it's like, I'm giving up.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, this listen. If I caution people about Gastown, I feel like I need to caution people 100 times
Yeah.
more
Oh yeah.
for OpenClaw. Like
Yeah.
it's really really
Yeah.
approach with
And
caution.
one comment I saw from the guy who created it, was it Pete Steinbreger or Stein,
Mhm.
something like that. He was like, caution, he's saying, this is not for, if you don't understand, certain basic concepts, you should not be running this. And one comment was, oh, this is just like any, technology that's ever come out where the creators of the technology change their minds about whether people should have access to it. It says, well, and what I think of is like when is it Oppenheimer or realize that this is going to be used for killing a lot of
Disastrous, right?
people, and therefore maybe
Or
should,
dynamite.
it's
I
like,
think that's how we get the Nobel Prize. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I would say it's a little different. I mean, because what he's saying is not that it shouldn't be used, but it shouldn't be used by people who have no idea what they're doing, and I think that's still the case for nuclear, anything nuclear. Don't give it to kids. don't.
It feels like a
Yeah,
circular saw,
yeah,
like
yeah,
straight up, super powerful. You're gonna
yeah,
lose some fingers.
yeah. So interesting. Cool. Shall we 307?
I think so. Sorry, I was just reading the chat there. Thanks for checking in, J Top. I'm sorry you missed the episode, but yes, I will see you next week.
Cool. All right. Well, let me find the
You'll
finish
find the
button.
button.
Thanks a lot.
All
This was
right.
fun.
I'm glad we could talk about OpenClaw
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah. Alrighty. Bye.